Let me ask you something. Have you ever heard about someone, maybe a friend, a coworker, or even a celebrity, who looked completely fine? They went to the gym, they ate salads, they didn't smoke, and then one day, a heart attack. It's one of the most unsettling things to witness or hear about, because if they can have a heart attack, what does that mean for the rest of us? I remember reading about a marathon runner in his early 40s. Lean, athletic, no family history of heart disease. He collapsed mid-race. Doctors were stunned. And honestly, so was I. Because it shattered everything I thought I knew about what being healthy actually meant. The people around him, the medical team, the bystanders, no one saw it coming. That's what made it so deeply unsettling. Here's the uncomfortable truth. Being visibly healthy and being cardiovascularly healthy are not always the same thing. And that gap, that invisible gap, is exactly where heart attacks hide. So in this video, we're going to talk about why seemingly healthy people have heart attacks. We're going to break down the real science-backed reasons this happens, not to scare you, but to actually give you a clearer picture of what heart health really looks like under the surface. By the end of this, you'll understand what warning signs are easy to miss, what so-called healthy habits can still quietly damage your heart, and what you can actually do about it. Let's get into it. Reason 1, the danger of silent inflammation. Most people think heart attacks are caused by fat clogging your arteries like a blocked pipe. And while that's partly true, the real story is more complex. The leading cause of heart attacks is something called atherosclerosis, which is basically plaque building up inside the walls of your arteries. But here's what most people don't know. Plaque doesn't just sit there peacefully. It can become inflamed. And when inflamed plaque ruptures, it triggers a clot. That clot blocks blood flow to the heart. Now here's why this catches people off guard. You can have this inflammation happening inside your body for years with zero symptoms. No chest pain, no fatigue, nothing. You feel perfectly fine. And your yearly checkup might even come back looking normal, especially if your doctor only checks standard cholesterol. Chronic low-grade inflammation can be driven by things like poor sleep, chronic stress, processed foods, even certain infections. And a lot of people who look healthy on the outside are carrying this inflammation on the inside without knowing it. Reason 2, stress is a silent cardiac killer. Next, let's talk about stress. And I don't mean just the occasional bad day. I mean chronic, ongoing stress, the kind that high achievers often wear like a badge of honor. Here's the thing. When you're stressed, your body releases cortisol and adrenaline. In short bursts, that's fine. That's your body doing its job. But when stress becomes your baseline, those hormones keep your blood pressure elevated, they increase inflammation, and over time, they actually damage the lining of your arteries. I used to think stress was just a mental thing. Like, if it didn't affect your mood visibly, it wasn't really hurting you. I was wrong. The heart doesn't care how composed you look on the outside. It's responding to what's happening chemically inside. There's even a medical condition called Takotsubo syndrome, sometimes called broken heart syndrome, where sudden emotional shock can cause a temporary heart dysfunction that mimics a heart attack. It's real. The mind-heart connection is that powerful. Reason 3, hidden risk factors in normal numbers. Another big one, and this one surprises people, is that standard health tests don't always tell the full story. Your regular cholesterol panel shows you total cholesterol, LDL, and HDL. But there are other markers that matter just as much. Things like lipoprotein or LPA, which is a type of cholesterol particle that dramatically increases heart attack risk. It's genetic. It doesn't respond much to diet or exercise. And most doctors don't test for it unless you specifically ask. There's also something called coronary artery calcium scoring. Basically, a low-dose CT scan that can actually see if calcium deposits are building up in your arteries. This is one of the best predictors of future heart attack risk. But it's not standard practice yet in most routine checkups. So someone can have normal cholesterol on paper, pass their annual physical, feel great, and still have significant buildup happening that nobody caught. Reason 4, over-exercise without enough recovery. Now this one might genuinely surprise you. Exercise is incredible for your heart. We all know this. But there is such a thing as too much, too intense, too often, without adequate recovery. Long-distance endurance athletes, for instance, have been studied and found to sometimes develop a condition called myocardial fibrosis, which is essentially scar tissue forming in the heart muscle from repeated extreme exertion. On top of that, during very intense exercise, blood pressure spikes dramatically. For someone who already has hidden plaque buildup, that spike can be exactly what causes the rupture we talked about earlier. The marathon runner I mentioned at the start, researchers believe that's part of what happened. The very thing he was doing for his health may have contributed to the event. This isn't a reason to stop exercising. Not at all. But it is a reason to take recovery seriously, to listen to your body, and to pair your fitness habits with proper cardiovascular screening. Reason 5, sleep and heart health are deeply linked. One more reason that doesn't get enough attention. Sleep. A lot of high-functioning, seemingly healthy people are chronically sleep-deprived and wearing it as a productivity badge. Your heart is quietly paying the price. Consistently getting less than 6 hours of sleep per night significantly raises your risk of heart disease. During deep sleep, your blood pressure naturally drops. Your body repairs itself. Inflammation goes down. Skip that window regularly, and you're essentially denying your heart its nightly maintenance cycle. And then there's sleep apnea, where you stop breathing briefly throughout the night. Many people have it and don't know it. It causes oxygen levels to drop repeatedly, which puts serious strain on the cardiovascular system. It's been directly linked to higher rates of heart attack and stroke. So what are the mistakes to avoid here? The biggest one is assuming that because you look healthy, you are heart healthy. Looking fit and having a strong cardiovascular system are not the same thing. Muscle tone doesn't protect your arteries. Another mistake is waiting for symptoms. Most dangerous plaque is silent. If you're waiting to feel something before you take action, that's waiting too long. And finally, don't over-rely on basic checkups. Advocate for yourself. Ask your doctor about advanced lipid panels. Ask about your LP. If you have a family history or high-stress lifestyle, ask about a calcium score. These tests exist. You just have to know to ask. Let's bring it all together. Healthy-looking people have heart attacks because the real risks often operate beneath the surface. Silent inflammation, chronic stress, hidden genetic risk factors, too much intense exercise without recovery, and poor sleep. None of these show up in how someone looks, and many don't show up in a standard checkup either. Heart health isn't just about eating vegetables and going to the gym, though those absolutely matter. It's about understanding what's happening inside your body at a deeper level. Here's what I want you to take away from this video. You are not powerless. Knowing these risk factors is step one. Managing stress, prioritizing sleep, asking for better testing. These are all things within your control. If this video made you think about someone in your life, a parent, a sibling, a friend who works too hard and sleeps too little, maybe share it with them, not to worry them, just to give them this information, because awareness genuinely saves lives. If you found this helpful, hit the like button. It really does help more people find this kind of content. And if you want to keep learning about health, habits, and living better in practical ways, subscribe. We put out new videos every week, and I'd love to see you back here. Take care of your heart. It's the only one you've got.